Right.
not
It
necessarily
introduces,
specific.
radio introduces you to people who normally wouldn't have heard yourself.
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, the people, your friends, oh, they always gonna tell you, you know what, I listened to your song again last night. Then you know what, that's one more view on your YouTube, that's one more click, that's one more whatever on your social media. You get to play it on the radio. It's somebody who's never heard of you probably, that you have an opportunity to convert into not only a fan, but a fan that will tell somebody else about your stuff.
So in your opinion, it is more opportunistic to be played on the radio?
Oh yeah, if there was any doubt that I was feeling any other way, I apologize.
I got you.
Oh no, it's just like the difference between having your stuff on YouTube where you can get 1 million views,
Yeah.
if it's really good. But if you told me that I could have my same content on CBS once every week at the same time, you know, I think I'm gonna opt for the
Probably
TV.
go to CBS.
Yeah,
probably so.
yeah.
Okay.
Malik's First Job Podcast, here to answer any questions that y'all ask. Financial literacy and resources. Parents and young people becoming bosses. CEOs, future leaders, entrepreneurs. Conferences and boardrooms getting sponsors secured. If you want generational wealth, Brooklyn's own Kerwyn Phillip with information to help. Malik's First Job Podcast. Malik's Podcast. Brooklyn's own Kerwyn Phillip. Kerwyn Phillip. Malik's First Job Podcast. Podcast. Brooklyn's own Kerwyn Phillip. Generational wealth.
To show what your talent is. Like I had ideas that I would never tell people because I know they would be like, that won't work because if you don't do this won't work. I isolated myself from everybody and did what I had to do, and I got the attention of the people that I needed to get the attention of. Like the brother said, he quit his job. I was able to quit my job and feed my family because I didn't listen to people say, Jay, that'll never work. So I think a combination of all those things. But if I had to wrap that up, I'd say definitely, you know, embrace more than one thing and be humble enough to know that maybe I shouldn't be making beats. Maybe I should be the person, you know, managing artists or whatever the case is.
I think for me, like I said, before I quit my job and I got on the radio, but then radio kind of ended for me at one point for a quick second. And I had to do what Kenny Gamble and Huff said at one time. I had to get a job. And the reason you get a job is because therefore you can make sure those bills are paid and then you can concentrate on your craft of hip hop. Once I did that, it got a little better, then it got a little worse for me. And then I just was getting ready to give up. I was ready to sell my turntables, sell all my records and everything. But something kicked me in the butt and said, you bet not. And that was a crash out of it. 1996. And a guy that he and I unfortunately are not friends anymore, but he said something very valuable to me. He said, man, you need to get back on the radio. I'm like, huh? I'm like, yeah, maybe one day. So the funny thing is, I called Aaron Maxwell at iPower, and he called me straight back. He said, man, I want to meet with you. Can we meet tomorrow? I'm like, yeah. Craziest thing, one of the craziest things I ever worked with. Can't happen to me. So I got back up there, but I kept my job. I was on the radio again at Power, but I kept my job. That had everything going smooth. Plus I had a family there, you know, so I kept everything going smooth. So I say all that to say, I didn't give up. And I kept it pushing somewhere. I had to reinvent myself in a way too. Because once the revolution of independent filmmaking came around, I was already working at a TV station full-time for the school system. I was doing that, and I started seeing new digital cameras come about. The revolution was starting for the independent filmmaking by editing on computers. Then I learned how to build computers. To this day, I'm an IT tech now. And I still do what I do. I still do my independent filmmaking stuff. I recreated myself. And then, fresh at myself, we got back and started to DJ again. After when our 30th anniversary of the Z-Rock crew came up, we've been doing gigs ever since. Then COVID came, of course, slowed it down, but we're doing, matter of fact, we're doing a gig the 23rd of July, shameless plug, the 23rd of July at the Jimmy Randolph Playground. The Jimmy Randolph Playground on Mountain Road. Come on out to a free jam with the Z-Rock crew and Junior Funk Machine reunion. Everybody's welcome. We were blessed with Lonnie B last year to just come through and be with Cash Money. And I said, man, Lonnie, you won't spend? He said, you serious? I said, come on, man, if you want. He said, my laptop in the car. That man came out and did a segment, and I really love him for that. So I'm just saying, we had to recreate ourselves. Jay writing for Rock the Bells. I mean, it's like he got a record deal. Yeah. You know, that's what that is. Lonnie's still doing his thing. Shoot. Let me say this. You know you were the original Beehive? Yeah. Do you realize that? You are Lonnie B. The B was your logo. Before Beyonce. No, I'm sorry. No, you gotta hear me. Listen. Like Mr. Farrakhan says, listen.
Give it to him, man.
Thank you, my brother. Listen. This man will go and play, everybody would be there.
That's right.
They follow him everywhere. They follow him everywhere. You don't believe me? You don't believe me? Go to Art of Noise and you see what the heck I'm talking about.
That's right.
Go to Art of Noise. They follow him and his crew. That's the original Beehive. I said it. That's the original Beehive. Now give him his money and his flower. So you reinvent yourself. And stuff. And I got to shout out to Mr. Melody here. Please stand, please.
Yes, right.
Please stand, Mr. Funk Holder. Let's give him a hand. He brought you the Funk Holder. And I got to shout out to Bryce from WRIR Radio. Will you please stand? I have to shout out Bryce. And I would like all the wives of Lonnie B and Fresh, please stand. Please stand. Please stand. Thank y'all for putting up with us. Thank you, Charlotte, for giving me that call that day. Thank you. So that's all I got to say.
All right. So this time we're going to open the floor for questions. Anyone have any questions? Just raise your hand. We'll bring the mic around.
Hey everybody, I'm Chuck. I just want to say Lonnie, El Bravador. Well, first of all, I'm originally from Southside. I'm from Afton.
That's right.
And I know Lonnie, when he said he had parties, he really did have parties. But I moved to Highland Park, and when I moved to Highland Park, I was walking down the street one day. I wanted to catch the Gillen Park bus. And across the street, I said, what's that red building over there?
That's right.
And I seen people lined up. I don't know if we had a show or whatever we had, but I was catching the Gillen Park. I was trying to go to Cavaliers. I was trying to go downtown. But long story short, one of the guys told me, man, that's WNT. That's the spot, that's the radio station. And I was like, what? Man, you can find Kane, Dougie,
that right?
Whoever, they coming up in there. So I took my transfer, well, I didn't have a transfer. I took my change, I put it in my pocket, and I stood beside the building. And lo and behold, Dougie came out that building. Wow. This is a true story. And ever since then, I've been tuned in. I'm crying because this is my man. I'm cancer survivor, and this is my man, El Bravador. He's like a family. I get home from school 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I listen to them. I listen to whoever was on the station. It ain't have to be El Bravador, it could be Zeraku, whoever. I'm tuned in every single evening. But my problem is, like El said, and Lonnie, he said something important. The music today, the problem is the DJs got younger. It's not a problem, but the DJs have got a little younger and the music changed. So if you're a DJ, you're gonna play what you like. You're gonna play with the era of your liking. But every time when we go to Art of Noise or we go to like a session, they always spin that original music, right? Lonnie spin the original record and he makes the original record and he transitions it into a rap song. The track is always an original record because we like it. My grandmother, she used to like mind playing tricks on me. And everybody in the family could not understand why she liked that song. It was very explicit, it got bad cussing, but she loves the music. And she always said, I like the music because I like the music. I know where the original song, I know where the original track came from. So I'm gonna listen to Chuck music. And today, if you hear this music today, most of the original music of today, they're going back to old, maybe 90s tracks.
That's right.
It's just that they put the old music into the newer generation rap. It's a generation thing. It's kind of unusual. It's hard to explain, but it's our life. They can't take it from us. It's in our body. It's in our soul. That's all I gotta say, man. Congratulations.
You know, I'm of the belief that the Lord puts us where we're supposed to be to get what we need to do what He has for us to do. So whatever long ago it was that all of these legends on the stage got together, the Lord was doing His thing. Now my question for each of you is, back in the day, it was very important for records to be played on the air, on radio. Airplay was very important to the success of the sale of music. Radio is not what radio today is not what radio was then. How important now is it to get airplay of the music for the music to be successful, in your opinion?
Okay, that's easy. We can go back to the. Like I said earlier, everybody else has access to to online. Everybody has access to social media. So that negates everything you do unless you're that one out of, what was that number I said, 20 million? 25. If you're that one out of 20 million, you're good. But that's just a viral moment half of the time. So you have to capitalize on that moment. Now, the difference is, anybody in you who blogs, who posts online, you post something, you're happy if 100 people see it that week. Right?
Right.
Okay. So this is what I tell local artists. I say, okay, cool. Forget radio. You go ahead and put it on your social media, hope your friends put it on their social media. You have 100 friends. If they get 100 views on it, you get 100.
Malik's First Job, Financial Principles for Teens, is an excellent resource to get your children started on understanding the basics of financial literacy. This book, which is set in Brownville, Brooklyn, about a young man who gets his first job and then shortly thereafter sits down with his dad to learn how to manage his money. There are several topics that are covered within this work, such as paying yourself first, disciplining your spending, knowing the difference between an asset and a liability, creating multiple sources of income, as well as the importance of being charitable. So again, if you want to get your children started on understanding finance and becoming responsible adults, we highly recommend that you purchase the book, Malik's First Job, Financial Principles for Teens. So please visit maliksfirstjob.com to get more information. Peace. Are you an MC, battle rapper, hip-hop enthusiast, or singer-songwriter looking to enhance your skills? If the answer is yes, then definitely check out Pendulum Inc. Academy. Pendulum Inc. develops a direct path to enhancing an MC skill set and understanding of the hip-hop business by providing access to classes conducted by industry experts in the areas of rap theory, lyrical and literary technique, content creation, branding, and hip-hop mental health. By nurturing creativity through lyricism, Pendulum Inc. encourages students to break societal norms within hip-hop and academia alike. With a lexicon of over 50 rap techniques, legendary guest teachers, and a community of MCs sharpening their skills, Pendulum Inc. supports artists in all stages of their career and their lives. For more information about Pendulum Inc. or to register for the Academy, please visit the link in the show notes below. Peace.
But if I play your record on the radio, I got 150,000 people to listen to me.
That's right.
So have fun with what you do. Or we can work together and you can add your stuff from you and your 10,000 to this 150,000. And I'm not even going to charge you for it. I just want to see you win so that when you come back and do shows, you can give me some free tickets. Or buy me lunch, or something like that. But
Fair enough.
the reality is radio is still one of those things where the time is limited. It's just like property in Richmond. They can't build further out because you bump into Henrico.
Right.
So you have to build up. So that makes the value go up.
That's right.
Radio's the same way. It's the only place where you can't just dump stuff in there and know it's going to play. You're competing against other people. So if you're able to get your stuff on the radio, not only will it reach more people that one time it plays, it's consistent. It doesn't just play that one time. If it's good enough, it could play for a year. We've all heard records that you're like, I'm tired of them playing that record.
Yes.
But the person who owns that record, they're not mad at all. Hopefully that answered it.
Yeah, but can I counterpoint?
You sure can.
Music on radio is played with a whole lot of other music on radio. Mm-hmm. When you have your own blog or whatever, or internet radio, like you said, that song, your music will be played more consistently, and it will be playing towards the audience that actually loves the music that you're playing. Mm-hmm. Not that on radio they don't, but the radio has such a broader audience.
Right,
not necessarily specific.
Radio introduces you to people who normally wouldn't have heard your
That's
stuff.
true, yeah.
Like, the people, your friends, they always gonna tell you, you know what, I listened to your song again last night. Then you know what, that's one more view on your YouTube, that's one more click, that's one more whatever on your social media. You get to play it on the radio. It's somebody who's never heard of you probably, that you have an opportunity to convert into not only a fan, but a fan that will tell somebody else about your stuff.
So in your opinion, it is more opportunistic to be played on the radio?
Oh yeah, if there was any doubt that I was feeling any other way, I apologize.
I got
Oh no, it's just like the difference between having your stuff on YouTube where you can get 1 million views, if it's really good. But if you told me that I could have my same content on CBS once every week at the same time, I think I'm going to opt for the TV.
Probably go to CBS.
Yeah.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Check.
I hate to do this. So me and Mike Street talk a lot, and one thing I hate doing is disagreeing with Mike Street. But I think social media is a lot more powerful right now. And my reason for saying that is because you have the opportunity to talk to your target audience. When I first started throwing parties and stuff, I used to have to spend a lot of money on the radio. You know, just like $250 a commercial. You know, I've started this party called the All the Noise, and I've sold like 5,000 of other tickets for Browns Island. And all I did was use my social media. And it's because I focused on my target audience. I didn't care who wasn't there, I just watered the people that were there. And if it was 10 people, that 10 turned to 15, that 15 turned to 20, so much so that now I'm in a position where the radio station calls me to help them promote radio shows. And so I think that,
Hold on, I'm gonna cut across you. See, I'm gonna tell you why that doesn't count. No, and watch this, you're all gonna agree with me. That is an outlier for the simple fact that he created something that was unique, that everybody enjoys, and that even if you didn't put it on your social media, they would still be there. So that's an outlier. That doesn't count. You have something that nobody else can offer.
sorry, Lonnie. I should have did it, I'm sorry. And also, I want to apologize. I'm sure y'all see me on my phone, but like as you know, a lot of those action figures out there are my action figers, and there's one that's dropping right now, and I'm trying to get my damn. Just forgive me. I'm just trying to make sure I get it. That's
Did you get the bid?
No, I'm trying right now.
You get it, Mike.
I'd say, I think that the radio, I think that the internet is a little more powerful right now. I see the points of both of the brothers, but perfect example, as an adult who has children or young people that listen to rap, when a rapper gets shot or dies, I'm like, who is that? Never heard of this guy. And like, my friends who have kids that are the same age, they're like, oh, my son's really going through it, or my daughter's really going through it because they really like this person. I'm like, yeah, same here. And I found out they got so many followers, and they've never played on the radio. You know, their whole thing is through other means other than the radio. So I would never discount radio. I grew up on WANT, WENZ, and, you know, Magic, and everything, Laser Power, all of that. You know, radio is a big part, but today, I think radio is a lot less powerful in the lives of young people than it was. I mean, back in the day, that's what made you heard Prince's new single, and you ran to the store to get it. And you hear artists today that have outsold those artists just through streaming, or broke their records through streaming, which I don't think is a fair equivalent. But they don't have to. We had to get up off our butts and go to the store and physically put your money there. And they can sit, you know, in the privacy of wherever they are and just do that. So I think, you know, I agree with a kind of a hybrid of both of what they said, but I think the internet wins out. Internet and other technologies wins out just a little bit.
I'm kind of like with Jay on this one. But the reason I'm saying that, let me put it this way. Folks our age, late 40s, 50s, going up to 60. A lot of them, and this one is really to what Mike is saying. They don't really, they're on social media, but it's not that many on social media as it is the younger folks in the 30s and early 40s or going further back. So they're going to listen, you know, the older folks are still listening to the radio, they're still watching the TV. The internet, as far as, and this is what I'm struggling with my station is online only. And a lot of people, well, I didn't know it was on there, you know, so, and you're sharing it on social media. Well, I don't get on Facebook that much. Okay, I'm trying to get them just to look at it. But now Facebook is starting to have a lot of garbage on it, like what MySpace had back in the day. It's starting to get trashy. Then you got TikTok. Now they're trying to ban TikTok because they're trying to say Chinese folks are trying to spy in on them and all that stuff. But you got, nobody's got to, Twitter's, they're feeling funny about that. So then you got Twitch out there, which I like, because those of us that are DJs, we can get on Twitter, on Twitch, and we can do our shows and they won't bother us. And I think that's another thing that I think is bull, is that Facebook shuts you down if you are a DJ and you want to do a live set to certain people. But they're trying to say copyright. Well, boy, first of all, who's going to try to figure out how to record your set and sell it? Oh, I mean, come on, be real. You know, so that's my thing with that. So in one way, I do agree with Mike, but in the other way is what Lonnie is saying and what Jay is saying. Yeah, the internet is strong. I seen Lonnie when he talks about where he's at. Yeah. I mean, the first hour made it 700-800 people, almost 1,000 people, and already liked it or they was responded to it because he's the original Beehive. That's why I said that. He's the original guy. Him and Mark and Shaquan and Kelly Lemon. They have honed that thing. That's their thing. That's their thing. And people are following them, they know what to expect. And I gotta commend y'all on what y'all done. Y'all have done something that us other DJs back in the days before you were trying to hone. That we were getting some people now, but not on that stage. Y'all gotta get ready to go to the city stadium somewhere to do y'all stuff.
It's the internet.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. It's the internet. Now, yes, with my station, yeah, you can hear all over the world, but you can do that on the regular stations down too, because they are streaming online. So I say all that to say the internet is very, very powerful. I think it's a great tool for radio stations, a great tool for individuals. But as what they said too, it's saturated the market so much that you got to do your homework and find what it is you're looking for. You got to find. You can't just sit back and think it's going to come to you like when you turn the radio on, your favorite song, you know it's going to play. It ain't like that no more. You got to do the work and do it. You ain't got to get up like Jay said and go buy the record. You can just click on Amazon and send it to you or iTunes. Just go ahead and just spend a little bit more time and just go look at what it is that you're looking for. Guarantee you'll find it.
Check. I just want to say one thing real quick, because I know Brad spoke on cancer, and my brother out here was talking about having cancer. I'm definitely a cancer survivor myself.
He's a soldier too. Give him a hand.
I think the moment that I got cancer was real important to me in my career, because I had had a successful career up until that point. Even though around that time I felt like things started to dip a little bit. When they told me I had cancer, I didn't know which direction things were going. I said to myself, I don't know how much time I have left, but I'm going to do the things that make me happy with the time that I have left, right? So with that being said, everything that I'm doing now, I follow my heart, and I never knew that following my heart would lead me to the most successful days of my career. So I don't know who in here needs to hear that, but you know what I'm saying, don't wait till you're in that situation, man. Like, definitely follow your heart. And I just wanted to chime in and say that. Also, I want to say,
go to the doctor.
Yeah,
go to the doctor. As
inspired as I am by everybody, a lot of the hip hop artists and DJs in this room, I gotta say, thank you to Mike Street. There would be no SupaFriendz if it wasn't for Mike Street. There probably wouldn't be no DJ Lonnie B on the radio if it wasn't for Mike Street. So when people talk about me and the things that I've accomplished, I want everybody to know, and he never really speaks on it, you know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure y'all hear it out my mouth. There would be no SupaFriendz or Lonnie B radio, Art and Noise, none of that stuff without Mike Street. So you can.
Hold on. And then I'm gonna boomerang that one and say that I wouldn't be on the radio or wouldn't be on the radio if it wasn't for Bravador, Mickey, and DJ MC Fresh. So now you can applaud that.
Generational wealth.